Yes, how are you?
Business on the way. Welcome to Cooperative.
Thanks so much. How are you? Sorry. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you and welcome to Cooperative University. Thank you, someone. Welcome to the University of Cooperatives.
Normally the CV requirement is reproduction.
Be able to move through it and land over to our project manager, Architect Musa from Mutiso Menesis, who is going to give us a run through of the project briefly.
Yes.
So that we can now proceed in the rest of the program. Yes, Architect, can take us through please.
Okay, thank you and welcome. This is the Learning Resource Center with a seating capacity of 1,500. Currently, it's at 95% complete. What is pending is just railings and the water tank that now will be supplying the facility. I'd like to take you through, so we'll walk in, we'll start with the basement and then make our way up. So on this side, we will have the main staircase, and then there we have the lift. So the project is going to be fulfilled, so where we are standing is currently phase 1. So once the funding is available, this will be demolished, and then we will be able to proceed with the other phase.
An extension is like
Yes, an extension. Actually, this is just a part of the facility.
so that is the first one.
Yes, that is the phase 2. Now we can proceed to the basement.
That it can be running together with the building because you can see you are almost set.
Actually, the building is virtually ready to occupy,
Yeah.
save for now that water tank.
Yeah.
And then we had a challenge with the sewer excavation externally, so there's just a small portion of 20 meters that is remaining.
Okay. To connect with the main one.
Yes, to connect with the main one.
So I press upon the water tank, yeah?
Yes.
I think you need to push very much because it can delay the occupation. By the way, I'm saying, so if they can move with the speed, it will work better. As early as you want to be served. Yeah. So then I think that is okay.
Actually, the building is virtually ready to occupy, save for now that water tank.
So this is what caused that accident.
Yes.
Now you know we want to do the coming course.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please do something. Check with your CFO. Yes. With the key person. Yes. To see how we are.
This is almost 95% area. I agree. Money is a good use.
Peterson, Jambo. Habari yako. He is our farm manager, so he has a way of the trees and the animals and knowing them by name and their meaning. So I will grant him this opportunity for our chief guest as he guides us now on the tree planting. For all of us, you have a tree for the chief guest. We'll have our MD Cooperative Bank rep will be planting the next tree. We have our chair of council will plant the next tree. Then we have our vice chancellor, our deputy vice chancellors, and our chair of the alumni. There is a tree there. So please, you can lead us very fast to that exercise. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. We have a number of trees here. The tree that you are going to plant is an African olive tree. African olive tree. We have chosen it because of its perfume. It produces a very expensive perfume. And again, symbolizing that the corporate university of us, in our economy, we went to perfuming. We have to have the cooperative education. So welcome and have it planted. Thank you.
Let's appreciate our chief guest, please.
This is the best way to water. Yeah, so that doesn't dry up. This here and the chair and everybody else. This will make a reason for me to be coming around to check on whether this tree is still growing.
Oh, yes. The grandchildren will be coming to see that tree.
Exactly.
They will be having your name.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our chief guest. The next, there's three is the representative of MD Bank, Mr. Samuel Durechi. Kindly, please.
So these are elegant. What is the name of the tree? The name of the tree is elegant teak. Yes, this is very big.
Very special thing.
Hello. Let's appreciate you. Thank you so much. So the next is going to have our chair of council, Jeremy Budi. Please start on the microphone.
This is mahogany tree. Mahogany tree.
Okay, let's appreciate ourselves. Thank you kindly. And we'll have a Vice Chancellor plant a tree.
In the next 30 minutes,
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is something. Please appreciate it, kindly. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have our DDC in charge of finance, planning and administration. Professor Esther Gichiru. That's the mahogany tree.
Cut it. Cut it.
Okay, let's appreciate our DDC. Professor Esther Gichiru. Thank you so much, Prof. And we have our DDC in charge of cooperative development, research and innovation. Professor Isaac Nyamonga, I don't know which tree is that one.
Olive tree.
An olive tree. Okay. Moving on. Let's appreciate Professor Nyamonga. Thank you, Prof.
Last one.
And as Prof finalizes to do our chief guest, the final tree, in honor of our alumni, always who have been kind enough to be here, Madam Pauline, who will be doing the last tree on that end. So this is from the tree that must be the Elgon. Yes, Elgon Chief. That is the chairperson of our alumni, Pauline Gary. Thank you. So let's appreciate that. Thank you. So our chief guest and our guests are now going to proceed to the auditorium for the formal session of the launch of our strategic plan and the commissioning of the sewer project. But for the commissioning, once we're done, we'll just take a short walk. But for that, we'll drive. So immediately after the event, there's a coaster bus there that is going to take us to the site just around. And the rest of us will be able to use the gate C of the university. We're going to be directed by the ushers so that you can be able to commission the sewer plant.
Our chief guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, as I indicated earlier, that today, as we launch our strategic plan for 2022-2027, it's also a great moment for this university because we are going to be commissioning one of the projects that has been co-funded by one of our great partners and long-term friends to this institution, that is the Cooperative Bank of Kenya. And therefore, at this point, I would like our chief guests to invite one of the contractors who did the plant, particularly the operations of the plant, that is BioLeaf Water Technologies, Mr. Charles, to do a brief presentation of that project. Mr. Mutai, Charles. Oh, thank you, Charles. Please let's appreciate Charles.
Good morning, all. It's a great honor to be here, and I understand I have 5 minutes, so I'm going to try and keep this brief. Essentially, the theme of what we're trying to achieve here and what BioLeaf is trying to achieve is wastewater. That is taking a waste product and bringing it to a valuable resource, which is water that we're all familiar with. A little quick information about BioLeaf. I don't really want to dwell on this too long, but we have a long history here in Kenya. We're a completely Kenyan-owned company with all Kenya employees and partners. In 2016, we actually had a very important strategic partnership with Davidson Shirtlift, which gave a small entrepreneurial business like ourselves much larger resource bases of a bigger company. We've now done quite a number of projects, over 400 installations in the region, and we do anything from small to large installations such as the one that we're discussing today. Our main focus in wastewater, but we also deal with water treatment, fabrication, swimming pools, and other equipment. So quickly, this is an issue. We have a lot of imagery of sewage pipes discharging sewage to rivers, lakes, dams, oceans, but we should be also aware of what we're doing to our groundwater resources. More and more septic tanks out there, more and more wastewater going into our soils. That is going to find its way to our aquifers. Our aquifers are under pressure, and we're drawing more and more water from the aquifers. In Kenya in particular, the whole Rift Valley region relies an awful lot on groundwater, and not just from our dams and lakes. So we have to think about that consequence. Here's an article from the Water Resource Authority, basically discussing about the crisis of too many boreholes and an aquifer in the Nairobi region which is under threat. The reality is this aquifer is going to be under more and more stress, both in terms of quality of water and in terms of access to that water. Boreholes will need to be deeper and deeper, boreholes will be running dry. We need to address this situation because it is not sustainable. So treating wastewater and reusing it to reduce the burden on your water resources is an important strategy, and it's not just something to be thinking about the future, it needs to be done now. So, to the plant in question, the mission of Cooperative University, as they approached us, was they need to meet their current and future wastewater management needs. Basic requirement, it's not a pleasant subject, but wastewater and sewage needs to be handled and done correctly. You need to be compliant with the environment and compliant with public health regulations. This is a necessity, and compliance will become a bigger and bigger factor in Kenya going forward. Reduce the water demand on the Mbagathi River and the borehole, which is where the university currently draws its water from. It's important that we're reducing that burden. And we reduce that burden by recycling. So, Cooperative University, we spoke a bit about the problems, aging infrastructure for wastewater treatment, issues with regulation, issues with neighbors. The solution was to put in a modern technology that would give a small footprint and would allow the space where the original sewage pond was to allow space for development, sports fields, and so on and so forth. The benefits is now that there's a wastewater treatment system that is current and up to date and should be current for quite some time now, as the design team put plenty of buffer to build in the university's population going forward. The project was actually completed late 2020, and the plant actually first came into operation early January in 2021, and you can see the work that went ahead there. Some more examples of work on site. Some of you will be seeing this site in more detail and be getting a tour from my colleague Sam Tai, who will be taking you through the operations of the plant. Just quickly, I don't want to get into too much technical because I'm running out of time, but essentially the wastewater treatment process starts with the inlet raw sewage. We screen it for solids. We then go into a flow equalization tank where we basically buffer the flows coming from the university so we can feed them at a steady rate through the process downstream of that equalization tank. It then goes through a fine screen to remove more particles. This is all for ensuring that equipment doesn't get damaged downstream. The next part of that is a biological process, which I will go through in just a minute, but essentially we will be using bacteria in the form of an activated sludge, which is in contact with your sewage and with oxygen, and it provides, it removes your organics and nutrients from that water to give you your clean water. After which, we then sanitize the wastewater to make sure that it is compliant with public health and safety, and good for reuse and discharge to the environment. What you see up here now is the biological section of the plant, where we essentially fill the tank with raw sewage, we aerate it with activated sludge, reduces all your pollutants, we then allow it to settle, leaving a clear water on the top, which we then remove as treated water. We then start the cycle again. On the pictures there, you can see what at the start of the cycle, when you settle, the activated sludge will start to compact, and with gravity sink to the bottom, leaving a nice clear zone at the top. That is your treated water, which you then remove from the process, and you start again. So we've got to recycle this water. Currently speaking, we have perfectly good water leaving the plant, and good quantity of it. The next step that we really want to encourage is, of course, let's reclaim this water that we're discharging to the environment through compliance. Let's reuse it. There are a lot of opportunities, irrigation being a key one. Any outdoor surfaces. Car wash is another one that a lot of customers have made use of. LaSalle school just down the road uses it to wash all of their school buses. Dust suppression is a good one. It can be involved in construction. There are plenty of things we can use recycled water instead of wasting potable water. And thank you. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll take my seat.
Thank you so much, Charles. Please, can you appreciate Charles for that? Okay, thank you so much. Chief Guest, I think as you ran the presentation, at first when we did benchmark on this plant, we were not so sure that how clean that water is. And I remember one of the universities that we visited at Bohora community down here, when the presentation was being done, we cleaned our hands, only later on to be told that was sewer water. And I think our minds, some of us almost fell sick because of the thinking of that. But finally, when we took the water to Nema, we were shocked. Our own water from the plant is more purer than the water from River Bagati. What is coming from that system? So we really loved the Baoli for the great work they're doing, and the plant which they have been able to install in this institution, because we can be able now to reuse that water for most of our loans and most of our cleaning, to try and reduce the water abstraction levels and the statistics that have been shown to us of what is happening to the Nairobi aquifers because of the large population that we are, and that is going indeed to go diminishing over the years, and we are very keen to ensure that we overcome that challenge. Thank you so much. Chief guests, at this moment in time, I would like to call upon our chairperson of the CUK Alumni Association, Madam Pauline Ngari, to make a brief remark and also recognize the presence of the members of Alumni Association who are present here today. Thank you. Please let's appreciate.
Thank you very much. Our guest of honor, the VC, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Pauline Ngari. I'm the current chair of the alumni of the Cooperative University of Kenya. And I want to take this opportunity to recognize one of my colleagues, Joseph, who works with KPMG, who is with us. You can wave. Thank you. I don't know whether there's any other alumni who is here. Few recognized? Yes, thank you very much. Few recognized and appreciated. Mine is to take this opportunity to most sincerely thank the university for their support to the association, and also to congratulate the university for the great work that they are doing, especially in launching this very important document, the strategic plan for the University of Kenya. And I must say I'm also very appreciative of the fact that I'm associated with this university since 1988. Up to now, is an institution that I've kept contact with, and I'm thankful that this time, since last year, I am the chair of the Alumni Association. I also want to say that I'm thankful that I was given an opportunity as part of the alumni to participate in this document. So I'm proud to say that part of my input is in that document, and that makes me very happy. And I urge the current students and the alumni there out there who have not joined the association to join, and so that we can help and support the university in implementing this very important document. Because once you are a member of the alumni, there are so many things you can do. We are doing marketing out there for the institution, in addition to other things that we can be able to support our institution so that it can become competitive and can stand out there. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. And again, reminding all the students to make sure that you don't leave the institution before you join the association. Thank you very much.
I feel deeply delighted that we have all gathered here today to witness the launch of our strategic plan 2022-2027, as well as to witness the commissioning of the advanced sequencing batch reactor, sewer treatment and recycling plant, which is a project that was jointly funded by the university and the Cooperative Bank of Kenya. This is a historic day that we have all been looking forward to, and I thank God that it is finally here. First, I want to welcome all our guests to the Cooperative University of Kenya, and specifically to thank our chief guests, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Professor George Magoha, represented by the Secretary Administration, Mr. Frederick Ndambuki, and all our distinguished guests who have found time to come and to celebrate with us. I thank the staff and students and the committee that has organized this occasion for putting their best foot forward and working very hard to ensure that everything is in place. Secondly, I want to pass our sincere appreciation to the following committees and individuals whose efforts have brought us this far. First and foremost is to the University Council for providing resources that have enabled the implementation of the 2017 to 2022 strategic plan and their invaluable input during and after the strategic planning process for the 2022-2027 strategic plan. The University Management and Senate for leadership and commitment to the implementation of the 2017 to 2022 strategic plan and the input given in the formulation of the strategic plan that we are about to launch here today. We also want to thank the Strategic Planning Committee who spent many hours working on this document and had to retreat several times in order to work on this document whose output we are launching today. We also want to thank the University Planning Department for guiding this process, and all staff, students, and stakeholders for your contribution to the strategic plan and continued support. Chief guests, this ambitious 2022 to 2027 strategic plan comes to life after the successful completion of the current strategic plan 2017 to 2022, which comes to an end on 30th of June 2022. It is anchored on the accomplishments, challenges, and lessons of the previous strategic plan 2017 to 2022, taking cognizance of our unique mandate to produce competent human capital through quality education, training, research, and innovation, and empowering communities through outreach for socio-economic transformation. This strategic plan has been developed during a period where public funding for higher education has been dwindling, with a trend projected to continue. By the year 2021-2022, the university was receiving funding from the Exchequer of approximately 25% of its annual budget. The university has had to generate the remaining 75% internally to fully finance its operations. In the view of this strategic plan has laid focus on solidifying and building on these gains and exploiting emerging opportunities with a goal of placing the university on a path of sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me for a moment to look back and reflect on the past 5 years. The strategic plan 2017 to 2022, which is only a few days to its full completion, focused on the 7 key strategic areas: research, innovation and dissemination of knowledge, outreach to the cooperative sector and communities, strengthening of the financial resource base, strengthening the governance and human resource capacity, upgrading of physical and ICT infrastructure, and marketing of CUK, its products and services. As a newly chartered university, the CUK needed to put in place structures and policies to guarantee her growth and sustainability into the future while meeting her mandate as espoused in the CUK Charter. In the current strategic plan, 2017 to 2022, we placed emphasis on several key strategic issues, including the following. One was the development of academic programs. By 2017, the university had a few degree programs, most of which were in the social sciences only, hence impacting negatively on the university's capitation. At the start of the strategic plan period in 2017, the university had only 3 postgraduate programs and 11 undergraduate degree programs. These have risen to 13 postgraduate programs and 32 undergraduate programs respectively as at the end of the SP period. 2 was increase in academic staff. At the inception of the 2017 to 2022 strategic plan, the university came alive to the fact that it had a low number of senior academic staff to match its projected rapid expansion. The CUK therefore had to make deliberate efforts to increase the number of senior academic staff to support the projected program growth. During this period, 8 new additional senior academic staff were recruited, hence increasing the number of academic staff from 60 to 68. In addition, the number of staff with PhDs have grown from 16 in 2017 to 32 in 2022, so that is doubling the number. Thirdly is enhanced competence of graduates. CUK plan to improve curricular content and incorporate competence-based aspects in all new programs in line with the government's education sector agenda. By embedding competence-based aspects in university diploma programs, the university was able to attain accreditation of the Institute of Tibet. The institute attracted approximately 326 diploma students as its initial cohort in the 2021-2022 academic year. In addition to accreditation of this institute, the university has also developed over 30 new programs within the 2017 to 2022 SP period. This has been done with the involvement of various stakeholders with the aim of ensuring that our graduates meet and exceed the expectation of the labor market. Fourthly, enhanced research output and outreach. CUK had inadequate research capacity of staff, leading to low funding of research activities. Under this strategic focus area, CUK was able to introduce and sustain annual publications in 2 journals, the AJCDT and the JSSBT. It has also been able to conduct an annual conference on cooperatives, carry out various consultancies on matters relating to cooperative development, participate in cooperative policy development both at national and county levels, and attract research funds for 5 new projects whose total contract sum is approximately 107 million within the strategic plan period, and develop fundable proposals and publications. 5 is on improved physical and ICT facilities. The university identified insufficient physical resources as a major impediment to our growth. This included facilities such as library, ICT facilities, office space, lecture theaters, workshops, and student hostels. During the SP period, CUK managed to secure funding from the Exchequer to undertake the following projects. Completion of the construction of the 2,000 capacity lecture theatre 2 block. This is where we are seated. Initiation of the construction of the Learning Resource Center Phase 1A, which shall house the university library with a capacity of 1,700. This project is 95% complete, with the second phase planned to commence in the 2022-2023 financial year. And our chief guest, this is the project we have just visited. There is also the construction of the main gate. There is also relocation of the sports field, whose current completion status stands at 80%. Further, during this strategic plan period, the university managed to secure funding from the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, amounting to 124,516,341 for the construction of the modern sewer project, which is now complete and is to be commissioned today. And this is where we'll be going after this session. I hereby wish to thank the Cooperative Bank of Kenya for supporting this project. In addition, the university has been able to initiate the construction of 16 additional classrooms with a capacity of 1,600. The cost of this project will be funded internally through our A&A at an approximate cost of 96 million. Phase 1 of this project will be complete by December 2022, while the second phase is scheduled to commence in the course of the 2022-2023 financial year. 6 is on the adaptation and integration of technology in service delivery. For the university to operate efficiently and effectively in delivery of her mandate, it is required to adapt to the changing technologies and implement ease of doing business initiatives. To this end, during the SP period, the university managed to 1. Automate most of the operations, which included finance workflows, student admission, hostel booking, examination, procurement, human resource workflows, performance contracting. The CUK provides itself as the first public university to automate the performance contracting and strategic plan modules. Secondly, it is to digitize curriculum for offer through open distance and e-learning. Thirdly, is to upgrade the university server room as well as to acquire a remote backup site. Fourthly, is to enhance the internet connectivity by acquiring additional bandwidth and installation of Wi-Fi hotspots across the campus. And fifthly, to establish and equip 3 additional computer labs with over 150 computers for learning purposes. Number 7 was on financial stability. During the 2017 to 2022 strategic plan period, the CUK targeted to increase its internally generated funds so as to finance its recurrent expenditure. This is in the wake of the declining government capitation. During the 5-year strategic plan period, the university managed to finance its budget mainly from internally generated funds, contributing to approximately 75% of its total budget. Overall, the university has been able to remain a going concern and with the ability to meet her recurrent expenditures promptly. During this period, I'm glad to report that the university was able to realize a budget surplus in 3 out of the 5 years under review, save for 2 financial years that were adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, the successes of the previous strategic plan, however, did not come without its own share of challenges. The main challenges being, 1 was inadequate and declining government capitation. The university funding from the government has been low and declining over the years. The differentiated unit cost for funding universities has not been implemented at 100%. Actually, currently, it is about 48%. So we only receive 48% of what we are supposed to receive from the government. This has adversely affected the university's operations despite the increase in student numbers. In addition, the university also faces the following challenges related to funding its operations. 1 is that the diploma programs are not funded through government capitation, although they form about 50% of the total student population in the university and are an integral part of our university's mandate. And we have been pleading with the ministry and the government to see how this could be funded, because also Kenyans. Secondly is the change in government policy on the placement of diploma students in universities. This has resulted in a great reduction in the number of diploma students that have been placed in our university. And unless this trend is reversed, it is likely to cause us to move into financial difficulties. Secondly is the interruption of the university operations and an academic calendar by the COVID-19 pandemic. Owing to the COVID-19 outbreak and subsequent containment measures issued by the government, the university incurred huge losses, mainly attributed to lost semesters as well as unplanned expenditures towards meeting some of the stringent containment measures that were put in place. Thirdly is inadequate accommodation. The university has a maximum hostel capacity of 1,200. This is inadequate for student accommodation. This inadequacy in student accommodation, coupled with the high rental costs of alternative hostels within Karen area, has negatively impacted on the attractiveness of the CUK as a university of choice for many prospective students. During the 2017 to 2022 strategic plan period, the university had planned to enter into public-private partnerships to build hostels with a bed capacity of 2,000. A proposal on the construction of hostels through PPP was submitted to the PPP office under the National Treasury for consideration. The PPP office is still reviewing this proposal. A similar proposal was done in collaboration with the STAG Africa, and this was submitted to the Ministry of Education for consideration. Fourthly is limited land for expansion. The main campus of the university is located on 50 acres of land in Karen, which is not adequate for future expansion. In a bid to mitigate this challenge, the university has expressed interest to purchase some land adjacent to the university, amounting to about 76 acres. A request for funding the land purchase has been submitted to the Ministry of Education and the National Treasury for consideration. The chief guest, the 2022 to 2027 strategic plan builds on the gains made during the previous strategic plan period, that is from the 2017 to 2022, while mitigating against the challenges and lessons learned from it. It provides a roadmap for the Cooperative University of Kenya to fulfill her mandate and mission as the critical impetus in the realization of our vision. The plan outlines the vision, the mission, core values, situational analysis, strategic interventions necessary to enhance quality service delivery that will underpin the operations of the university during the strategic plan period. It captures internal and external aspects and trends in line with the Kenya Vision 2030, Sustainable Development Goals, and the government's agenda, among others, that impact higher education in general and the cooperative education in particular. To realize this ambitious plan, the university acknowledges increase in student numbers as well as research output as key performance indicators for the 2022 to 2027 strategic plan. The plan is anchored on a new motto, empowering communities. We recognize that the ultimate goal of quality cooperative training, which was our original motto, lay in empowered communities. The new motto will breathe new life and zeal towards the realization of the university mandate and the general contribution to the overall well-being of our community and country at large. Due to the diversity of the programs offered at CUK, the vision of the university going into the new strategic plan period has been reviewed and expanded accordingly to a university of excellence in education, research, innovation, and cooperative training. Consequently, the university mission going into this new SP period will be to produce competent human capital through quality education, training, research, and innovation, and empower communities through outreach for socio-economic transformation. This plan is anchored on 11 strategic objectives, and these are to promote relevant education and training, promote quality education and training, promote research and dissemination of knowledge, promote innovation and commercialization of intellectual property, enhance outreach to cooperative sector and communities, strengthen financial resource base for institutional growth and sustainability, strengthen the governance organs and human resource capacity, develop and upgrade physical infrastructure, develop and upgrade ICT infrastructure, promote customer-centric service delivery, and enhance CUK brand visibility and brand positioning. So these 11 strategic objectives have further been clustered into 5 key result areas. And these are, 1 is relevant quality education and training, 2, research, innovation, and outreach, 3, corporate management and organizational sustainability, 4, physical and ICT infrastructure, and 5, customer centricity and brand visibility. Our esteemed stakeholders, to realize the above strategic objectives, the university requires an estimated recurrent expenditure of about Kenya shillings 5 billion and a capital expenditure of about 10.7 billion Kenya shillings. 3.7 billion will be for ongoing projects and 7 billion for pipeline projects over the next 5-year period. The funds will be raised from a variety of sources, ranging from, but not limited to, fee revenue, commercialization of research output, government grants, grants from development partners, other internally generated income streams, and contributions from other stakeholders. The successful implementation of this plan is expected to realize a recurrent surplus of approximately 2 billion by the end of the SP period. As we launch this ambitious plan to guide the university for the next 5 years, therefore, it will take the effort and commitment of each of our stakeholders to have this realized. It is our hope that you will all continue to support us to sustain the tremendous and unprecedented momentum that we have recorded as a university. While there are many activities in our new strategic plan requiring a lot of work for all of us, we may not achieve much without your support as well as our partners. We therefore urge each one of us here to once again refocus on our motto, our vision, and our mission, so that we can rededicate ourselves and our energies to the delivery of the highest quality of education to our students, scaling the heights of knowledge generation and dissemination through world-leading research, promoting innovativeness and creativity, and also engaging with our society to improve the welfare and condition of our people. Please remember that destiny is not a matter of chance, but a matter of choice. And we as a university have chosen the path that we want to follow, and we have no iota of doubt in our minds that our best days lie ahead. As I conclude, I'm happy to report that the Board of Directors of the Cooperative Bank of Kenya have approved a Kenya shillings 30 million support, which will go towards the establishment of the Cooperative Innovation Hub. Though this is already at very initial stages, the hub will form a critical pillar within which students and other sector players can develop solutions and innovations for a very vibrant and ever-growing cooperative movement. I take this opportunity to thank the Cooperative Bank of Kenya for this gracious provision and request that the representative of the Cooperative Bank, Mr. Samuel Birech, does convey our most sincere appreciation to the Group Managing Director, Dr. Gideon Murioki, and the bank. Let us appreciate the cooperative. With those many remarks, I want to thank us all for the support and partnerships we have enjoyed in the just concluded strategic plan period, and I know we shall journey together in the 2022-2027 strategic plan period. So I now take this opportunity to welcome the Chair of Council, Dr. Bundi, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, to introduce the members of Council and also to give his speech. Welcome, Dr. Bundi.
The chief guest, the Cabinet Secretary Minister of Education, represented by Mr. Ndabuki, the Managing Director of Cooperative Bank, represented by our old friend Mr. Birech and your team, all distinguished visitors who have visited the university on this launching of the strategic plan, and my distinguished council members, Violif, Charles. Mine was only to introduce the council members, because the VC has given a very elaborate speech and the summary of the strategic plan. But I don't forget to thank also the Alumni Chair. Thank you very much for visiting the university and being with us. Our District Vice Chancellor, and also your DVCs and the University Management Board. And my district honorable council members, please stand up so that you can introduce to yourself. On the extreme end, we have, we want to hear your voice. Please, Mr. Dan Ogechi is around today.
Good morning, everybody.
Dan Messis represents the Cabinet Secretary, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education. And is a banker by profession, is also a council member.
Good morning.
Susan Karori is also a council member and also representing the PS Treasury.
Good morning.
We have Mr. Musiemi, a veteran cooperator.
Good morning.
We have Mr. Wanjoy, also the council member, and also representing the PS Cooperatives, Minister of Cooperatives. Mine is to thank the University Management Board for burning the midnight oil to prepare this strategic plan. I also would like to thank the Ministry of Education. We have toured the Learning Resource Center, and you have seen the work we have done. The financing by the ministry is elaborate. We also wish to thank the MD Cooperative Bank through Mr. Sambirech for the assistance they have given this university, especially on the bio-systems and the biotreatment works. And also like to thank all the stakeholders who really participated in getting the ideas of revising our strategic plan. I would also like to thank the students who have been very calm in this university as one of the stakeholders. Our distinguished union members who have been very calm in this university. Cabinet Secretary would like to confirm that they are very calm. We are meeting all the also distinguished stakeholders. And also, all our neighbors in this current area. They have been very accommodative to our staff and also the students. The VC has already mentioned about the difficulties of our students getting accommodation within the area. Currently in a very expensive place. I would only request the Cabinet Secretary, that project and proposal the VC has mentioned, for us to partner with other members of Goodwill and partners of Goodwill to see whether we can construct some good hostels for our students. Our main aim to see our students comfortable. And thank you very much, PS, and I hope the PS and the Cabinet Secretary is going to take charge of that. Without giving a lot of stories, I want to confirm to you, Cabinet Secretary, that the Council members participated fully in all the stages of this strategic plan. Our input is 100% there. We have been the UMB, even on retreats, and they have done a lot of work. And the input was elaborate. And of course, though you also like to thank our the President of the Principal Secretary, Dan Messis, who has been escalating all our issues to the ministry positively. I would also like to thank Susan. Now you are, the other angle is you are the representative of the PS Treasury, my old classmates, and you have been really assisting us to get the funding. Despite the low capitation, the university is very happy that you continue assisting us with all the materials and the finances we require and the guidance necessary to operate the university.
I'm here representing the Group Managing Director of Cooperative Bank, and so I'll read his speech. My name is Samuel Direct. I head HR and administration at the bank. I have colleagues here who have been introduced, so I'll go ahead and read the speech. A speech by the Group MD of Cooperative Bank of Kenya, Dr. Gideon Muriuki, on the occasion of the Strategic Plan 2022-2027 launch and commissioning of the seawater treatment plant and recycling facility at the University, Cooperative University of Kenya on the 24th day of June 2022. The chief guest, CS Education, Professor Magoha, represented here by Mr. Ndabuki, the chairperson of council of the university, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, the Cooperative University of Kenya council members, VC, Professor Kamau Ngamau, the DVC, the University Management Board and Senate, staff and students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm humbled and very much honored to join you this wonderful morning as we celebrate the critical and major milestone for this great institution. I'm happy to have been invited to come and witness the launch of the strategic plan of 2022-2027 and the commissioning of the sewer treatment plant that was constructed with the support of Cooperative Bank of Kenya. The Cooperative University of Kenya and the Cooperative Bank of Kenya have a long history that goes beyond sharing names. Not only do we draw our energy from the 22-member strong cooperative movement, but we are also keen on making a positive impact on the Kenyan economy and on the livelihoods of the people on whose shoulders we stand. It is on the backdrop of this mutual relationship that as a bank, we took the decision to partner with the university and work together on the sewer treatment and recycling plant. The student population has over the years continued to grow and currently stands at about 9,000 And from the strategic plan that we will launch this morning or this afternoon, the number is expected to hit a 20,000 mark by the year 2027. This plan will not only serve this growing student population, but also ensure that the environment is well safeguarded and our water bodies free from contamination. I'm informed that the plant has a capacity of producing 30,000 liters of clean water per month, and the effluent from the plant would form rich fertilizer. My challenge this morning to the members of faculty, and more so those in the environmental science area, would be for them to develop concept notes and fundable proposals on how the products of this plant can be better utilized to have an economic impact and benefit to the communities around and within the movement. Chief Guest, I'm happy to report that most recently the Board of Directors of Cooperative Bank approved a 30 million shilling contribution which will go towards the establishment of a cooperative innovation hub. Though at the very initial stages, the hub forms a critical pillar within which the students and other sector players can develop solutions and innovations for the very vibrant and ever-growing cooperative movement. The COVID-19 pandemic has, in more ways than we could have ever imagined, reminded us of how critical innovation and continuous research and development are in this day and age. With the conceptualization of this innovation hub by the university and partnership we have just begun, we are of the firm belief that the needs of the movement and the vibrant, young and energetic student population the university enjoys will also serve as a catalyst for many great innovations and solutions to the ever-changing needs of the cooperative movement. I'm indeed excited about the prospects which will bring to the university both faculty and students and the benefits that the cooperative bank will draw from the hub. As a bank, we have over the years continued to invest heavily in the education sector through the Cooperative Bank Foundation that has to date supported over 8,360 needy and bright students with full education scholarship from all regions of Kenya. A good number of those students have been trained in this great institution. We as a bank remain committed to doing our part in supporting the university in areas that will continue to make the cooperative movement the formidable force it is in service and economic empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude my remarks by wishing the university all the best as she embarks on this great strategic period of 2022-27. And our sincere prayer is that all the things that have been envisioned and articulated in the document will not only be achieved, but will have far-reaching impact that is so desired and will be fulfilling. God bless you all. Thank you. Dr. Gideon Muriuki, Group MD, COPAC.
At this juncture is my honor, and it's honor for all of us to welcome the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, to give a speech. Can you please stand up for the honor of our Cabinet Secretary, who is financing this university very well. Welcome, Mr. Gamboki, on behalf of the Cabinet Secretary.
Yeah, please resume your seats. Thank you, Chair of the Council, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, for welcoming me to make this speech from the Cabinet Secretary. But before I can be able to read it, I want to take this special moment to be able to appreciate the warm welcome I've been able to receive this morning when I came in, through the chair, the VC, and management of the Cooperative University of Kenya. I am very grateful for everything you've been able to do to make me comfortable in your university. This is my first time to be able to come to Cooperative University of Kenya. And I'm delighted from what I've been able to see as I was being taken around to see some of the projects which the government and other partners have been able to put together funds to be able to put them in place. And more so the learning resource center where it was purely funded by the government of Kenya. I have appreciated the progress of work which I've been able to see there. That project has been well done, it's of quality, and it is meeting the timelines, because as we were there, I was being told it is at 95% completion, and soon it will be put into use as we prepare to do the extension, there is phase 2 of the same project. So when we see good management in our funds, which we are releasing for specific projects and programs, then we as a government, we do appreciate, and we can't hesitate to be able to enhance our funding to such kind of programs where we know that money will be able to be put into good use. So I do appreciate that sincerely from the management of the University of the Cooperative University of Kenya. I've also been able to listen very well to the presentation of the VC on the programs he has and also the challenges he has been facing. And together we can be able to say VC and the management and our office of the Cabinet Secretary and that of the PS that we'll be able to do our best to support in terms of the programs which are there to be able to enhance on teaching, research, and all matters of creativity and innovation from this university, that we'll be able to do our best so that we can be able to support you fully. I also want to say that I'm here on behalf of the Cabinet Secretary, Professor Magoa, who is in charge of the Ministry of Education, and also, I'm also here to represent also the Cabinet Secretary, not the Cabinet Secretary, but the Principal Secretary in charge of the State Department for University Education and Research. And both have not been able to be here simply because they are involved in other critical matters outside Nairobi. And that is why they chose me to come and represent them during this very, very important moment of launching the strategic plan for Cooperative University of Kenya. And I'm also thereafter will be able to receive the sewer plant from the contractor so that now the university can be able to appreciate on that project. So to me, I say thank you very much for that warm welcome. Allow me then to be able to take you through the speech by the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Education. Speech by the Chief Guest, Professor George Bakoa, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, on the occasion of Strategic Plan 2022-2027, launch and commissioning of the Advanced Sequencing Batch Reactor, Sewer Treatment and Recycling Plant, and a tour of other university projects on 24th day of June 2022 at Karen. The chairperson of the Council of the Cooperative University of Kenya, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, the Group Managing Director and CEO of the Cooperative Bank, represented by Mr. Samuel Birech, the Cooperative University of Kenya Council members, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kamau Gamau, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, the University Management, Board and Senate members, staff and students, distinguished guests, and the leaders of the cooperative movement. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once more. Yeah, I know it's a bit chilly, it's a bit cold, but well, we are all going to cope with the weather of today. It gives me great pleasure to have been invited to join you this morning on this momentous occasion where we are launching the strategic plan 2022-2027 of this great institution and also commissioning the sewer treatment and the recycling plant. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to join you this very chilly and cold morning to celebrate some major milestones that have been achieved by this old yet very new institution, that is the Cooperative University of Kenya. I am aware that you were awarded your charter very recently in 2016, but I'm also fully aware of the history of this institution and the immense contribution it has made to the cooperative movement since its inception in 1952. As a ministry, we pride ourselves on the strides and gains you continue to make within the higher education sector. Notably, the recent restructuring undertaken by your council to reduce the number of divisions from the 3 initially to 2, making the university realize over 20 million cost savings annually. The development of 30 new programs that are well researched and market driven, sound financial management that has seen the university meet its financial obligations and get unqualified audit reports, just to mention but a few. Thank you very much.
All right, so we have our chief guests. Please take us through. Thank you so much. So let us appreciate our chief guest, please, as he comes. Okay. For the 2022-2027 strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Cabinet Secretary once more, I want to appreciate all those who did put this strategic plan into reality. In terms of time and resources which we have been able to spend, now we have a strategic plan we can be able to launch today. And I do appreciate that very much. I now start the test.
Yes, he's starting the tip. Let's appreciate once again. Let's continue clapping. Oh, yes, Thank you so much. Thank you, our guest, our chief guest. You may have your seats, please. Thank you, our chief guest and invited guests.
This strategic plan is so key because they prioritize all their programs and activities and they state on how they are going to be able to achieve those priorities in the next 5 years or so. And therefore, today is a great day for the university and for us all, of course, as the Minister of Education. When we are seeing good things coming from our various universities, then we appreciate very much. We are also appreciating on the kind of projects which have been able to be put up. But basically, this morning I've been able to tour the Learning Resource Center, which will be able to serve the students more so as a library. And what I've been able to hear is that the current library is very small. It can only accommodate about 200 students or so at a session. And therefore, that resource center is going to really offer adequate space for the students to be able to learn and do their work and research and everything else. So it is creating one of the most important environment for university students because reading, research is very critical to university education. And therefore, I do appreciate the progress I've been able to see on that project, which is phase 1, and it's at 95% completion. And I'm told in the next 1 month or so, it will be in use. And therefore, we'll be able now to look at the next phase to extend and expand on that infrastructure. I'm also appreciating, because the auditorium which we are from just right away is also a project the government of Kenya was able to support, and it's now in good use, and so many activities can be able to take place in the auditorium. Now we are heading to also commission another project which was done by the university in partnership with the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, and this is about on a sewer plant which is quite modern. I think we have been able to be taken through on the process. Now it will be operating, and I want to say that at the end of the day, it will be able to make our environment safe, secure in all ways. And I'm sure today everybody knows there's a lot of emphasis on environmental protection. So this particular project has factored on all that, and we do appreciate very much the management of the Cooperative Bank of Kenya. Thank you for that very good support. We do appreciate. All in all, we are grateful for the good work happening in this university. The VC and the council, they have been able to do a very good job in their management on matters of governance in the university. I, for one, do appreciate that very great management skills applied by the VC and the management team and everybody else. I say thank you very much, and we as a government will be there to support on all the initiatives, on all the programs, so that our universities can be centers of excellency. Thank you very much.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the stakeholders who have been here to witness the launch of our new strategic plan for the 2022 to 2027 strategic plan period. As I have outlined, we have 5 key areas where we are going to be concentrating on, and these 5 key areas, they are on education, relevant and quality education. We want to focus on research, innovation and outreach. We want to focus on governance issues. We want to focus on finance, on infrastructure, and we want to on physical facilities, and we also want to focus on issues concerning marketing and the centricity of issues concerning marketing. So these are things that we are going to work on. We have already done the implementation matrix. It is ready. So when the year starts on 1st July 2022, we are ready to go. And we want to thank all the stakeholders, some of whom are represented here, for taking part in the working on this strategic plan. We have had stakeholders, including students, including staff, including the cooperative movement, our alumni, strategic partners like the Cooperative Bank, all coming in and chipping in. We have global communities who are here, and they have given their input. We want to thank also the government agencies. We have Tibet Authority is here. They have also supported us and given input in this process. The CUE, the Commission for University Education, has also given its input. We have worked together with the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service, and all this is to ensure that the programs that we offer here are relevant to the country, and that they produce quality students, that the people that we are being able to produce, the graduates, that they are not half-baked, but they are people who are going to take this nation to the next level, even as we desire to achieve the Vision 2030, which is desiring to produce a medium-income country by the year 2030. We have only 8 years to go, and we are very key in ensuring the delivery of this vision for our country, and cooperatives will be at the center of this vision. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the University Council, I'd like to confirm and thank the Minister of Education very much for supporting the infrastructure development of the university. I would like also to thank the strategic partners, more specifically the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, for the support of the seawater treatment system, which they have supported this university to develop. I also want to confirm that the University Council will continue giving support to the University Management Board to develop this university further, and also have more programs for our dear students, including the CBC students we are waiting for in the 2-3 years to come. Thank you very much, members of the press, for visiting us also and covering the venue. Thank you very much.
It's a project which was run and has moved quite on time. And so far, it's been on the test run almost the last 6 months, actively running. We've experienced the students' full capacity, and it has served us very well. In actual fact, the water you can see being sprinkled all over there, that is the water now, clean water. I know from here, we are not able to exhaust. We're still having now the area that the MD Cobank, I think from his speech he mentioned that, the rehabilitation of that water or repumping the water back for use. I think that should be the second phase, which I think the MD did a challenge, members of faculty, to also seek other partners and write proposals to see how that water can now be pumped back to the university. And indeed it's just going to waste, and we still need to use it at the upper side of the university. So for now, we're going to hand over to Cooperative Bank, who are going to formally hand over the plant to you, sir. And thereafter, we'll humbly request that you're going to move forward there and commission. Then Mr. Mutai will be able to take us through the functioning of the plant. So, Mr. Bilechi, and we require some documentation for the plant. Sorry, he's coming along with them.
We are proud to have worked with the university to deliver this great environmentally safe and secure project, and we are happy to formally hand it over to you. Thank you.
Okay, so then thank you very much, Cooperative Bank, for this wonderful project. We do receive it with a lot of appreciation. Thank you, and keep it up. Yeah.
Good. That's better, thank you.
Now, this one is for the University Cooperative, University of Kenya. So I want to hand over these documents officially to the VC, who is going to keep them in good custody for reference in future. So VC, thank you very much, and that partnership you need to enhance on it, and even more and more. Yes? Thank you, sir. So please receive the documents. And we are going to continue enhancing the partnership. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, yes. Well, so then on behalf of the Minister of Education, on behalf of the Cabinet Secretary, I do officially commission this sewer plant today.
Let us appreciate kindly.
Thank you very much. We do appreciate. I think now we can hear how it operates from the contractor.
Thank you very much. My name is Engineer Mutai from Water Technologies. We had been contracted here to take up this task of putting up a sewer treatment plant, which will be able to take up all the waste from the university plus the LMC, treat it in an environmentally friendly way, and the output is clean water. The plant itself has a capacity of up to 800,000 liters of water a day. With a reduced student population, because school is out of session, our readings as of yesterday, we were looking at about 100,000 liters of water passing through this plant. At the moment, the water is being used for the landscaping around here. There's a small sprinkler irrigation system, but this is just a demo. We would want to expound on it and maybe deliver it all the way to the sports facility, because we're talking about 100,000 liters per day for now, but with the expansion we are looking at up to 800,000 liters of water a day, recycled water. So at the moment, once the water is treated, it goes down to a wetland lagoon for further polishing, and then after that it just percolates into the ground and joins the river. So just to ensure that we are compliant with the environment, since this is quite a critical area, we have a river, there's a lot of activity happening down there, people washing, fetching water, the university itself drawing water from there through their water treatment plant. We do a quarterly analysis of the water, take it through NEMA, and with that we have an effluent discharge license from NEMA, certifying that the plant is compliant with all the various parameters for safe discharge into an aquatic environment. And this is done with collaboration with the university, where they have an appointed full-time caretaker here. And BioLeaf, we are offered a 2-year free maintenance service post-installation. After that, we'll get into a service contract, just to ensure that everything works well. The plant, as you see, this is the structure. The footprint, it's almost it's 17 meters long by 8 meters wide and 5 meters deep, which is quite a contrast to what they had before, half an acre of ponds. So it's very compact. It's mechanized, uses KPLC power, but we also have a standby generator in case of power failure to ensure that the plant is running. The plant comprises of air blowers, which we see inside the control room there. There are submersible pumps for transfer. There is remote monitoring. For example, this device here measures the dissolved oxygen to make sure that we have an ambient environment. And since it's biological, you need life to grow within the bioreactors. The plant itself is also on a remote monitoring device, whereby we can monitor it on GSM monitoring to see whether the plant is working, whether there's a trip and all that. It's mobile enabled. Yeah, so maybe I can just take you around. I don't know if you want to see from the beginning to the end. Yeah, but the main component is inside the control room. This is Joseph, he's our full-time caretaker. He's based here to ensure that the plant is fully functional. The brains of the plant are the control panel, whereby we run all the pumps. We have 2 blowers, main blowers, but duty standby. In case one fails, another one takes in, just for contingency. And also for further contingency, the main component that can break down is the motors. So we do keep a motor in stock in case if that comes to that. And for energy efficiency, like right now, although the plant is designed for 800,000 liters of water a day, but you're only receiving at 100,000 liters of water a day, to save on power, the blowers operate on a variable speed drive, which means if the load is low, we can go as down as 30 hertz in terms of frequency, meaning less power, but running on the same time. If the load increases, we jump up to 60 hertz. So we vary the speed of the motors based on the capacity of the plant. And through sensors like the dissolved oxygen sensors, that also tells us just how fast we need to run, not just on the volume, but also on the oxygen concentration. We have level transducers also to measure the liquid levels, so that if you have a high water level, an alarm goes off, just to show that there is a problem somewhere. And all that is communicated through a GSM monitoring system, which is available on GSM. So this is the control room. This is the brains of the plant. We have various elements inside the tank. We have 2 banks. We did 2 banks just for redundancy. In case we need to service one, or if we have a problem with one, we can isolate that, fully run the plant on another one. So the flow is divided into 2. We can do 400 cube on that side, 400 cube on the other side. In case of an emergency, we isolate it, empty it, work, do any maintenance or repairs on that one side, just for redundancy. Knowing this is an institution, we have a residential property right next door, so we have to be quite careful and mindful of the neighbors. We have an aquatic environment down there, so no room for error. And that's why we also have a full-time caretaker here, in case something happens, there's someone who's here physically. Like right now, the communicator, it has a lag because of the overcast. Can't take the satellites. So we need a physical presence.
Rudi nyuma kidogo.
Unaweza fikiria ni aduke. Acha tutoe kuonyesha kabisa.
Seplan did all the civil works all the way from the line, because we had to redo the 52-year-old sewer line to a new one, which has gone to some levels almost 8 meters deep from the university all the way to collect all that waste. So Seplan did that work. Then we had STEMA. The STEMA here is for the generator, the installation of the generator, which is the standby generator there. This is the contractor who handled that. Then we have Monsaf. Yes, and the clerk of works. I saw John. Where is the clerk of works? He was here, he has been around, and his own was overseeing that. And generally, we had the entire team, so we request that we have that photo with the project team, and of course the VC and chief guest and the council members present. At least I know it is great pride when we had to hack down the rock here, because all this was a rock. Actually, the level here was at this level. It's good also for members to appreciate this was the same level. The whole of it was rock. So what you can see is an excavation. So you can imagine what work had to go this area to have this. And this has gone 5 meters deep. So it is going to really appreciate that project team who are here to ensure that this project has come to fruition.
So that can go without too much.
That is okay? Yes. That is all right? Yes. We can now ask the rest to start the cake.
Yes, let's appreciate our chief guest, please, and start the cake.
We appreciate. Now, the cake can be served to all of us.
Chief guests, our council members, for at least feeding us with the cake. Thank you to the manager and the team that has prepared that cake. So at this point in time, I will call upon our DVC in charge of Finance, Planning and Administration, Professor Esther Gichero, who is going to be passing a vote of thanks. Welcome, Prof. Let's appreciate our DVC come
Our chief guest this morning, I think it's already afternoon, Honorable George Makoha, is presented by Mr. Frederick Gabuki, who is the Secretary Administration in the Ministry of Education. The Group MD, the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, also represented by Mr. Samuel Bilechi and other members of staff who came with him, and our CUK Chairman of the Council, Dr. Jeremy Budi, and other members of the council present. Our chair of the Alumni, presented by Pauline, here, who is always our guest and willing to join us. Our other guests who are here today, the government partners and all the other guests. Also members of the UNB who are here, and Senate, and the staff of CUK and students. For me, I feel honored to start here to move a vote of thanks for this day, which I must say was a very successful day. And I want to start by thanking the Almighty God for giving us His providence so that as we started preparing for this event and up to today, things have moved very smoothly. We cannot take it for granted. It is the doing of the Lord. I want also to take this opportunity to very warmly thank our chief guest for finding time and taking all the time from morning to work with us all the way to the commissioning of the plant and being with us here even to the climax of starting the gate. And we want to say thank you very much. Our chief guest, we don't take it for granted. We know you could be doing other things, but you choose to be here with us. I want also to thank the Group MD Cooperative Bank, through the representative, Mr. Village. Just tell the Group MD that we are very delighted for releasing you and the number of staff who are here to be here with us, to be happy with us, because you can see this is a very happy occasion for the cooperative university. We value you very much, our two chief guests, for what you have done for us this morning. I don't want also to forget the speakers. All the speakers who have talked this morning, they gave us very inspirational speeches, and we have picked something from each one of them which is going to help us as we move forward with our strategic plan in the implementation stage, which is very important because we can make very good strategic plans, but if we do not implement, then they just become books in themselves. But you have inspired us this morning, and we know we are going to move forward with them. Especially, I recall the chief guest making a clarion call to our cooperators in the sector to move in the university in the implementation of this plan. Because we cannot do it alone, like we had when the VC was presenting the strategic plan. It's a document that is going to take us to many milestones in the future. And so we need that support of everybody so that we can move on together. I want also to thank the chair of council, because all the things that we have done here, right from the beginning of preparing the strategic plan, it would not have been easy without the support of the council. The chair and your entire team of council, we also don't take you for granted, because we always say it is one thing to have a council, and it's another thing to have a council that is supportive. And our council has been very supportive and therefore has provided a good working environment in this university. And that's the reason why we can see things going smoothly up to the time we have come here. Let me also not forget to thank our VC himself as a person, because he has provided leadership in all that you have seen here today. Without his leadership, we cannot be coordinated, we could not have done a good strategic plan, we could not have organized this, and our VC has provided that leadership. He always makes sure he tells us what to do, and he leaves us to do it without interfering with us. So VC, we also want to recognize that and thank you. Members of UMB, I also don't want to forget you. Every stage of the strategic plan development, we were coming to you and giving us a go-ahead to go to the next stage, and we have done a lot of work to ensure that the document was successfully completed and launched today. And also the members of the Senate. So we all have played a key role in everything. All members of staff who are here, and even those who are not here, everybody was playing a role somewhere. And we may not be able to mention everybody, but we know many of us have played a key role in the development of the strategic plan up to today. I know the students also who are with us. Let me also not forget to thank the media under the leadership of our PRO, who have also come and joined us today, and we hope that it will help in the dissemination of what we have done today. Because if we do it today here and we keep quiet, other people out there may not know what we have been doing. And so we are very happy that the media team was with us, and we look forward to dissemination of this information. Finally, let me also thank the catering staff who have also made good meals for us since morning, and up to now we are still eating, prepared the cake for us. We also don't take it for granted. Thank you very much for the efforts that we have done. And finally, I want to say that we cannot feel good if we didn't be allowed that I represent my colleagues to say these words of thank you. You know, if you don't say thank you to our guests, we have expressed ourselves. And you know, if you don't do that, it is like wanting to give somebody a gift, you wrap it, you put it on the table, and you don't give them. But now today we are very happy because we have pronounced how we feel about our guests being here. So last and not least, let me also take this opportunity to thank our MC, the Registrar FPA, Mr. Chris Kabaka, because again, without his able coordination, we would not have been able to everybody play the role that we were supposed to do. So thank you very much for coordinating us. So with those few remarks, I want us to just stand up and we applaud our two guests, the chief guest and the MD of the bank, for the good work that they have done for us.